This our show, and we talk about everything, and we talk about everything. Royal Flex the brain zone, introspective insight right now. Peace, love, and all that good stuff. I am King Dev Doe.
And this is Shannon Shenanigans.
And it is your favorite co-host, Noel Moore.
And this is Royal Flex the Brand's introspective insight talk show, the Black Wall Street podcast.
Yes, sir.
Shannon is still reporting live from...
Yep. I'm here till the middle of March or something like that. Well, we'll see what my dermatologist says. But yeah, I'm gonna be Skyping there for the next couple weeks.
Yeah,
How's the weather?
How's the weather?
Oh, it's cold. It's not snowing. It's just really cold. Like it's brick outside. It was 7 degrees the other day. It's probably what. And then,
7? It was 14 today, and I was mad. So I know you was mad.
Wait, huh?
It was 14 today.
Oh,
Well,
I was just
morning.
about to ask. Has it been snowing there? I heard it been raining.
We just got hit 2 days
We got
ago.
hit.
I was like,
And
wow.
It's supposed to be. Nah,
This is
it
what
ain't
we
supposed to be
doing?
more coming.
Yeah, it's not. We should be good for at least.
Well, let's not let Dev start being a weatherman.
He gonna be up there with us every night.
Let me tell y'all something.
And we out from Black Wall Street. I mean, channel. What channel was it?
Channel 10.
Channel
Wham.
10. Wham.
All right, so real quick before we don't got no off topic, but let me get to the word of the show and quarter show.
Yeah.
So the word of the show is ahistorical, without concern of history or historical development, indifferent to the tradition or to tradition. And then the quote of the show is the notion that all human history and all human societies can be shoehorned into a simple binary scheme is not new, but it is always simplistic, ahistorical, and therefore wrong.
Sheesh.
Oh,
You use
A lot, right?
you use a lot of big
I know
words
this is off
right
topic
there,
like a
bro.
motherfucker, so I ain't gonna expound on it.
So
but
just so you know, shoehorned is violence. I
Shoehorns
figured
of violence, yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
figured you would want to know what that meant.
Yeah.
That's for the ignorant folks out there, you know.
Yeah.
You just don't
It's-
know
it's
that
for
word.
them-
You're not ignorant.
It's for them ones that don't know. Yeah, ignorant.
The ignorant
yeah, ignorant
folks.
is not knowing. Yeah, them ignorant folks.
Don't do them
I ain't
like
say
that.
niggas.
Don't do them like. We're here to teach. We're here to teach, not
Oops.
shame.
Did you just stumble
Oh.
words? Did you just jumble some words? No.
Oh wait. Where is Martha Luther King?
I mean,
Yeah, like what you? I seen on Facebook something. I love white women. He right with that.
and got Martin Luther King on the on his.
And got
That confused me because I actually listened to that and then I read it and I was like,
you always
yes.
forget it's him, right?
I said,
Yo.
wait a second, that's Martin Luther King. Wait a second.
I'm bringing equality to the people.
Oh my.
That's y'all.
That's the new form.
You need to change your profile picture.
No, I do not. I need,
Yes, you
if
do,
anything, I need
especially
to
with
put
the
his wife
content
up
that
there
you're-
to show
that
that
you're
I could be
posting.
with a black woman and still love white women.
Huh? What?
All right, so
Oh,
real.
you took it there.
That's why I'm just moving on.
You took it there. You see, it took me a minute. I'm like,
Wait a second.
hold on. Am I did I grasp that correctly?
Yo, that would
Oh.
be some shit. You're gonna get a head full of semi hair.
I'm gonna pass.
Semi
out.
here.
Please hush.
Okay, so
Hush, hush.
we don't really got no off topic, so
Oh yes, tell us.
but
No,
I got an idea. Huh?
I got a small off topic. I want to tell
What
you.
you
Come
got?
on,
I
Dakota.
want to tell you
Come on,
about my
Dakota.
favorite artist that I just found out today.
Okay.
Elvis Presley. Excuse me.
Oh,
You are so annoying.
uh,
Did you catch that team? Did you cut that, please?
Shannon
Listen, he
apologized. Shannon apologized for calling Elvis a
If
crack.
any-
He apologized because he understands that cracker is a offensive
You use
term.
cracker,
It
not
is?
thief. Not thief.
Huh? I can't really hear China.
I said not thief.
Huh? Not see?
Not thief.
Oh,
Not
thief.
thief. Whoa. Slow down.
I ain't know what. You gotta turn her mic up. Like seriously, I can't really hear. But yeah,
What about-
I'm fired.
Yeah, you fired.
He's like, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna.
Now you want to be fired for that? You should have been fired.
She said you should have been fired.
Oh my goodness! If my
Um,
if my Oprah comments ain't get me fired, I know this ain't.
Yeah,
That's true. She's
yeah,
the queen.
That's the queen. That's the queen. All right, so just real quick, I got a docuseries on the way that I'm gonna be starting to work on.
Oh yeah.
I guess that can be the off topic, but I'm not gonna go deep into it because I understand and I know that it's dope and it's literally just in the idea phase right now. I ain't branch off yet. I didn't start to create content or any of the pre-production. Whether it's what shots I want to get, what video content I want to get. But just know that I'm about to start working on a docuseries, centered around poverty in the city, as well as yeah, I seen that. As well as how it's affecting our city school district. So just stay tuned. Stay tuned for that, and it's gonna be dope. It's probably gonna be, I want to say 6 episodes, but depending on how the content development starts and how I start to produce what I want to catch, it might grow to 10 episodes or lessen. But I doubt it'll lessen because I have a specific targeted. I have specific opinions I want to get to kind of grasp how we're trying to or not trying to tackle poverty-stricken Rochester City.
Mm-hmm.
I got into like a heated debate about. Remember we had the conversation on if we had kids, would we send our kids to the city?
Yeah.
I had a conversation and someone was offended that I said I wouldn't. And I'm like, just to get the experience of being with people from their culture and
right,
blah blah blah. But I'm like, do you sacrifice your kids' education because when we talk about the city school district in particular? No.
Well, that's a debate
because
for another day.
the poverty. But I'm saying that
Yeah.
goes into it. It's a poor district. So then that goes into the level of education that you're going to receive.
True.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But yeah, just be on the lookout for that. Opinions like that is what I look to capture in hopes to bring light to what's happening or what's not happening or how we kind of view the district as a whole, because we are all 3 of us, and some of the people listening are a product of the city. So
you can tell
make
I
sure.
It's all right.
You can't tell I am.
It's all right.
Nah.
Okay, we made it.
You look,
But we
you
made
look
it.
like you went to Penfield.
I'm one of those anomalies.
You are.
Yeah, I'm one of them
You
anomalies. You seen this finger? That's how you know it's true.
Are.
Yeah, you are.
Well, I want people to know where I come from, because where we come in all layers and onions and shavings.
Onions.
Like onions have layers.
Oh yeah, I guess.
So you can come from the city school district and you come from the city and you can be
Anything.
well off.
Yeah, but it's a lot. It's the I seen one of our old classmates. He had a conversation. He was white, and he had a conversation with his white friends about going to school in the city and eventually trying to tap into school districts outside of the city and what they had to deal with. And I thought that was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of how I got
Being a white kid or a black kid?
Being a white kid going into a white district but coming from the city.
Okay.
So I thought that was interesting.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we'll get to see those perspectives and things of that nature, and how ultimately being in a poverty-stricken district affects the community, our youth, and our future opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
So be on the lookout for that. But without further ado, I got a lot to say.
Do you?
I hope y'all got a lot to say too.
Do we?
Yeah, we'll see how juicy it gets.
So
we'll see how juicy it gets.
let me start off by saying we got a lot to learn from the white community, because this past weekend we've seen a white man get fired for saying a racially fueled word, or with racial undertone slur. Or racial slur, whatever you want to call it. Now, I will admit, when I found out that it was a racial slur, my initial thought was, I didn't know that was a racial slur. Being a black man.
Did you know that?
What? Yes.
Well, because
monkey,
did?
porch monkey, coon.
Well, yeah,
raccoon.
no. But see,
That's where
here's
that
the
comes
thing.
from?
Here's the thing, real quick. Yeah, here's the thing. Only reason why is because we've used it in a way to where it's like, all right, he not doing what he's supposed to do in the community, so he a coon. Leave me alone.
I thought
it was an racial slur.
I wouldn't even. No.
Because to be called a coon as a black person, that's like what? To my that's a racial slur. But it's us.
Yeah.
Intraracial. In the hell?
It's kind of like a white person calling China Jezebel. Like nah, that's racist.
Like
you don't.
All right, Jezebel, get out my face.
Yeah, I didn't connect that.
I don't know. I
But
just go with it.
further.
But
just
I
go
mean,
with it.
we live in a different time.
Dad,
You know,
just go with your
different.
racist slurs.
Yeah.
As long as you fired, you cool.
yeah, as long as you fired, we
Right.
solidarity, my brother. Go find another job.
Y'all ain't
Okay,
right.
so so initially I heard the recording of the recording. So I had to listen to it 3 or 4 times. I didn't read the comment. I just seen that it was some uproar when it started to go viral.
Mm-hmm.
I listened to it 3 or 4 times. I'm like, yo, I don't hear anything. I hear him stumble to say king, but I didn't hear anything. So then I went back to read the comment to see what it was. Well, it was a recording of the recording. I didn't see. So you had a lot of static and all that stuff. So and in the background say, you heard what he said? You heard what he said? You know, all that stuff, right?
Oh yeah.
So when initially I was like, well, maybe he should, I don't know what's going on, like, cause I didn't hear anything, but when he said Coon, Michael. See, I'm talking too fast.
Right there.
I said Michael.
I wasn't racist.
Yeah, he wasn't racist, right?
It wasn't racist.
So it didn't say. It said the caption said Martin Luther Coon King Jr.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so let me go back, and I was like, I still don't really hear it. It sounded like he stumbled and said king, as if he was talking and he tried to say king.
Mm-hmm.
So then I'm like, okay, I didn't really put my 2 cents in, and I was just like, well, I can't really hear it. And then I seen the next day, obviously, Donkey of the Day came out. He got Donkey of the Day, and they had all the official audio for everything.
Mm-hmm.
My boy said Martin Luther King Jr. It flowed so smoothly, so I immediately said,
that's how they talk.
Said, oh nah, that flew off his tongue too
eloquent.
Like that flew off his tongue like it was his daughter name, so, or his son name, whatever daughter he got, or his wife name, or his mom name. So it's no way that you made a mistake and stumbled, because if you stumbled, we shouldn't have even heard anything that you said, because you're stumbling over words. You're talking too fast. Okay, well I was just talking too fast, and I did not say anything racially fueled or a slur or anything like that.
And to me, that's the thing. Like, if you stumbled and said like Martin Luther Cool Jr., then say I didn't say anything racist. Y'all heard it wrong. But he apologized. He apologized. He knew what the fuck he said. And at that moment, when he knew what he said, he knew that he was gonna get backlash. I don't think he thought he was gonna get fired. But he knew he was gonna get backlash. And it took him 3 days to apologize, because he said that nobody noticed it. Come on.
Nobody in the control room. Nobody.
So my perception.
That's how you know they was all crackers.
This either.
Yeah.
I just me, because I make up stories in my head about situations. So I just felt like he had his list of things he had to talk about, and he like, damn, y'all, look at this shit. I gotta go tell these motherfuckers about Martin Luther King Jr. Right? So he walking out with that. You know what I'm saying?
Fresh
still on his hand. Like,
I like that.
So he like, so they all like, they about to be hyped about that corn, right? Which is why nobody caught it, right? That's why it wasn't caught. It was able to air.
Yeah.
Right? There's a 10-second delay for live TV, or it might not be as long as 10, but there's a certain amount of second delay for live TV. So these things like that can be like, whatever. Right. So he walked out there still in his head. So as he's talking, he's like, "Oh, it's about to come out. I gotta talk about this motherfucking coon." And after it was like Martin Luther King. He like, "Oh wait, pull it back in, King," because these are the conversations that these are the types of conversations that he's in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So nobody in the back thought anything of it, because they thought probably nobody's gonna pay attention. For one, and for two, initially it didn't catch them by surprise. This is just the dialogue that they have.
Yeah.
My question goes into, now what do we do next? Outside of the firing, are we just firing people?
Well, let's back up. Let's back up real quick.
What are we backing up to?
Well, no, go ahead, because you were about to say something.
I was gonna say, like, I like what Dr. Martin Luther King's daughter said, like, sensitivity training. Like, put it like this: you may stumble on air all the time, but racist stumbles, that shouldn't happen. That shows that there's a common ground at the WHEC. Like, y'all be saying this type of shit. Racist slurs just don't be popping out your mouth. I don't never slip up and say cracker. I wanted to say cracker. Like, I wanted to say that. So,
but like how we say white people shit, and you say white people shit around white people, because that's something that we say, and we say it freely. Like
Confident.
I ain't going skiing. That's some white people shit. So when you around white people, you still gonna say that's some white people shit. And you gonna be like,
well, and then look at them like say something.
Say something. Nah, I think so. Let's talk about MLK's daughter.
Yeah.
Who is she?
She's a beautiful woman.
What's her name? Hold on, wait a second. What's her name?
No,
what's her name? What's her name? What's her name?
No, I don't know what her name is, but what is she doing?
Don't tell me what her last name is. Tell me what her first name is.
Martha.
Okay. All right. Can I admit something though?
What?
So, Booker T. Washington's grandson.
You gotta speak up.
Booker T. Washington's grandson and his wife, who is, I can't remember, but two descendants of highly respected black activists. Booker T. Who did Booker T. watch? It'll come to me. They came to our school. They have a foundation helping school districts, right? And they want to come and potentially help the Rochester City School District. I didn't know. I wouldn't have known that they were descendants of prominent black figures unless somebody told me.
Okay.
Same if I was introduced to Martin Luther King's daughter. I mean, her last name is King, so that kind of gives it away. But I wouldn't, because he's saying, who is she? Do we really know the children of any prominent? Well, unless you really deep into your black history and where these people, what happened to these people after they died. But who we don't know any of them.
Yeah,
Booker T. Washington, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. We don't know their children. We don't keep follow of their children and what they're doing.
I get that part. So what I'm saying is they're using her. Oh, Martin Luther King Jr.'s daughter said that he shouldn't have got fired. They're using her as a token. There you go.
White people.
That's what I was.
White people.
They're using her voice as a token, as if it is supposed to be the end all be all, like how you said on Facebook.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I don't think her voice is the end all be all. I think her opinion should matter.
Absolutely. But so like, of course, we're supposed to do rehabilitation and all that stuff. We get that. But we cannot rehabilitate the people that don't want to be rehabilitated. Now we're saying now we're jumping into, okay, well, we got to rehabilitate. We need, see, I ain't saying no racial slur, and I'm talking fast.
We need to recrack a tape.
Recrack a tape.
Recrack a tape.
Yo, recrack a tape.
Y'all are.
That's a good one. That's a good one. We're not saying we need to rehabilitate the men that's been imprisoned for a dime bag. We're not going ahead and saying, oh, well, we need to No, I'm saying when it's a white person, he done lost his job, lost his livelihood, don't know how he gonna pay his bills. Now we got to rehabilitate them.
Oh, he'll get a job.
You see what I'm saying? He will get a job.
He'll get a job.
But when it's one of us, goes into we got something to learn from the white community. But when it comes to us, we just gonna throw them away. We're not gonna talk about rehabilitation, or we know that they're doing wrong, R.Kelly, and we don't push them to rehabilitate their problems.
There's no rehabilitation for that.
I know, but I'm just saying.
I can rehabilitate you for murder
early on.
I can rehabilitate you for sex addiction with grown people.
Once you go past that, but
I can rehabilitate you.
Get into the R word.
Exactly. I can't rehabilitate you from the R word.
Before
if you an R worder, I can't. Ain't no that's death.
R word.
Period.
That's on the shirt. Period.
Yes.
But yeah. So that's my problem. Like, I understand that she's his daughter and everything like that, and it's no disrespect. I'm just saying.
Martin Luther King daughter. Who this?
I'm just saying, we don't know her first name.
That ain't shit.
We don't know her first name, which is true. We know nobody know her first name.
No, I am gonna be honest.
We know Coretta Scott King first name though, cause she legit.
Come on, and plus Coretta Scott done been through some things now.
Yeah, she has. That's
but
a strong. Not to discredit what she's saying, because what she's saying is vital. It's valid, but when these people don't want to be rehabilitated, like you said, they done probably had all these conversations right before shooting. That's why it was
what does the room look like?
Get rid of them all.
The entire room looks like them.
And
so no one in that room, depending on if there's two things that can happen. Everybody in the room could have the same thought process, or everybody in the room may not have the same thought process, but if the majority does, then people are afraid to speak up, or you know what I'm saying, or everybody fronting because they don't know. So if I say if we're white, right, and you say something racial, but I have, let's say I work with black people, or I liberal or whatever, but I try to understand to a certain degree and be an asset to the black plight, right?
Right.
And you say something racist, you say something racist, they say something racist, right? Now, do I engage or do I say, yo, I'm really not fucking with what y'all talking about right now?
Then to me that shows
could
like
have been an
systematic
option as well.
racism right there. Y'all need more diversity.
Look at you standing off that stuff.
He's sober right now.
Look at
That's
Mr.
really
Williams. I'm staying in North Dakota. That's where you at? Look at that.
You
look
could call
at that.
in for the rest of your career.
I'm feeling this.
But yeah. So it goes into that, and also it's like my whole thing is they already had 3 token black people co-sign for this man on CNN. Don Lemon, whatever his name is.
Whatever.
You shouldn't have got fired. I think that blah blah blah.
Who's Don Lennon?
He's on CNN. The pretty white boy. I mean black boy.
Pretty.
See, I stumbled a little bit. Called him white.
I don't watch those.
And the some famous meteorologist or
but
something.
you gotta think.
Al Sharpton.
They have a little coalition because that could happen to anybody. Any meteorologist, they could slip up like that. So they just got his back.
You know what else got me?
They're protecting themselves.
So that video that we was kind of going that I sent y'all, of the CNN video, they made it clear that he's not reading off a teleprompter, right?
Yeah.
So why are you talking fast? If it's live and you are literally,
they still have a certain amount of minutes before they gotta come to commercial.
I understand that, but they control. So it's the green screen. So they see what's going on and they're controlling what they say. So if you're not going fast, if you're not going through the teleprompter, you kind of trying to read fast. Why are you talking fast?
Well, when I go to the museum, the science center, and I'm the meteorologist, it's a teleprompter there, so somebody might be lying.
Well, no, he said it's live, so it's no teleprompter for live for that one. That's
at
what
the
they
science
said.
museum, I be live.
Yeah, at the science
with
museum,
the teleprompter.
Here, standing at.
Exactly. They put you in a snowstorm and shit. You be like, oh. But see, so when you said,
wait, where is Colin Kaepernick and his knee?
For real. For real.
You said habilitate the ones that want to be habilitated, right?
Well, just so let me speak on that because that's actually where I was going before you went to the Frederick Douglass things. So here's the thing with the difference between white people and black people. White people choose to be ignorant. That's why I keep on putting that. It's a chosen, as I've written up there, ignorance, right? Mm-hmm. The reason why I didn't think twice about coon being a racial slur because we've researched so many other racial slurs that's not even at the top of the list. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. For him to say, well, I nobody corrected me, so I didn't think that it was that big. Come on, bruh. In 2 seconds, I did put Martin Luther King Jr. and I got people shut up. I got the video from 1965 where he was saying that people was invading the borders and Martin Luther King Jr. I had one during that time when they was debating whether the Confederate flag should be flown on like the state grounds and in the courtroom. I had one person say Martin Luther King and keep on going as he was explaining why he thought the Confederate flag should stay, it didn't represent slavery and it should stay flown on state grounds in the courtroom. Like you can go and you can research. This is normal vernacular for the white community. So when you come and you say it and it rolls so blissfully off your tongue, this is something that is normal to your community.
I don't think
educate themselves
denying that.
What I'm saying is when we're talking about rehabilitation and everything like that, we have to rehabilitate ourselves all the time. It goes back to ahistorical. It's like they don't have concern for history because it don't concern them. They have always been pushed forward and trajected forward based off of the systemic racism and the system that has been put in place to put them on top and put us on the bottom. So they have no reason to research what is racist or what is considered racial slurs or things of that nature because it's embedded in them.
So okay. So for my perspective is it's not even necessarily the fact that they don't know what a racial slur is, or they don't know that they're being racist. Obviously, this man had that conversation 30 seconds before going off air. On air, there's nobody that convinced me that didn't happen.
Right.
He said that before he walked out there, which is why it came out, right? So my thing is, it's not necessarily that they don't know what racism is or trying to teach them what racism is, but my thing is, like I said before, I don't want to have conversations with people that don't care to expand their horizons and get over their prejudice and their racism, right? But automatically going into a conversation with a white person about race, they're going to be defensive.
Super defensive.
Period. Crazy. Because the worst thing to be as a white person is a racist. Period. Right? So my thing is, how do we get over the fact that every white person is going to come off as, I don't care to learn, because the automatic is a defense? First of all, we done been through a lot of shit. So I think that we're strong enough to say, I can get through your defensiveness so you can understand my point. I don't necessarily want white people to say I'm not racist. I want a white person to say I am racist and I want you to help me get through this. I am racist and I want to understand, where my racism come from, recognize where my racism come from, and recognize why and how it is wrong and how I benefit from the system.
It's like an AA group, but it's a racism group.
But they're going to be defensive. So I feel like saying I don't want to talk to somebody who doesn't want to recognize their racism, then you won't have a conversation about racism, period, because that's gonna come with.
So go ahead, Shannon, because you've been.
Well, to your point, Dev, I would say that we're not in their environments a lot of the time, so it'll be funny if you're with 20 white folks and then you make a nigga joke or a Mexican joke. To them, it's all ha 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 ha. But if you went to school with a white person, they don't find that shit funny because none of y'all find that shit funny, so you ain't gonna get those same ha 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 ha's.
Right.
So when you get those people, plus we're not in the same work environment. They got the higher executive jobs as they promote to themselves, because I forgot her name, but she's the executive, and she's one of the first Black executive producers. I forgot her name, but that gets promoted. You know how many white executive promoted? We don't even know them names. So that being said, their environment, they're used to that. They laugh at that. And then when they get into the Black environment, they're uncomfortable. And that's why they get, to your point, defensive, because not only are they out their comfort zone, they don't know how to talk to you. They think that they look at you as an angry Black person and they don't want to piss you off. So of course you're going to get defensive when you don't want to piss somebody off.
So that goes back to, we as Black people, we have to continuously educate ourselves. Why? Because that is what's going to keep us safe. That is what's going to keep us from getting shot. That's what's going to keep us from saying the wrong thing to a white person that'll get us locked up or beaten or whatever the case may be. White people don't have that continuous stress of, well, if I say this will happen to me. That's why I'm like, well, yeah, fire him, because Colin Kaepernick took a knee in respect to it, in defense of killings from police brutality, and he lost his whole livelihood, and then created a whole another one based off of why he took a knee. Like, that is, we're not talking about that. We're not when we talk about Colin Kaepernick, we're talking about, oh well, he was disrespecting the flag. Come on, this dude was doing his job, and he unintentionally, because I wholeheartedly believe that it was an unintentional slip up. But he unintentionally showed his true colors. And then to go further, when you get on CNN and you're not answering questions and you're dancing around the question to somebody that obviously supports you, you're
definitely got defensive.
You're now showing your true colors again. And then you have the nerve to quote Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Come on, bro. Now you really pushing it, because now you're showing yourself as, one, I'm fake. This is not coming from an authentic place, and I'm doing this just so I can win back the Black people that think that I'm a racist, or any future employers that think that I might be racist that's ran by Black people, whatever the case. Come on now, because I feel like that was I think that was a stab to every Black person's heart when he quoted Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and said, well, don't judge me by social media, judge me by my character. Don't nobody know you. You're a weatherman. You're not a meteorologist. You're a meteorologist, but ain't nobody about to put that nice sciencey title on you. You a weatherman, a chief weatherman, and you predict the weather wrong. Don't nobody listen to you. Don't nobody know who you are. You are you are irreplaceable, and you don't have the right. I don't know. And this is another thing. White people, they come together when one of theirs is wrong and they think that they're wrong, that they don't understand why they're wrong. They come together to try to get him work. I thought it was interesting that they literally thought they had the power to demand the mayor have a sit down with him. Now he's a weatherman.
Wait, what?
They protest the day after they protest like yesterday or the day before that at City Hall to get Mayor Lovely Warren to sit down with Jeremy whatever his name is to basically have him give an explanation as to what happened or get a better understanding. Who is he? He's a weatherman for Channel 10 News.
So we're gonna pull her out to talk about that, but y'all won't pull her out to talk about what RPD is out here doing when they pulling people over.
That's another thing. Like that's another thing that kind of like that rubbed me the wrong way, because now, again, that's why I said we got a lot to learn from the white community, because they pulled together and they called it a light protest. We're gonna do a light protest at City Hall tomorrow.
Black people pulled together for R.Kelly, clearly. But black people don't have a hard time coming together for no bullshit.
Basically, what I'm saying is they thought they brought this normal person to because of his mishap that they don't understand, and demanded that the mayor meet with him. And then another thing that I was getting was, you don't think that she overstepped? No, she ain't overstepped. She's human and she's black and she's a woman. That's just because she has a title of mayor, a political office as mayor, don't mean that she can't speak on something that hurt her and her community as a collective. Like, let's not hide behind the title.
I was seeing things about that. What exactly did Lovely do? Did she like?
Well, because she's the mayor, she has a certain amount of pull or power or whatever the case. And
I think they looked at her as a black woman first, so she gonna be pissed and show her true colors. That's why we need
at the same
her
time,
on with the racists.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like how Donald Trump shut down he's basically keeping the government shut down. But one of his buildings has a government office in there, and one of his buildings, I think buildings or hotels, one of them has a government office in there, and he's basically, since there's people in there that want to go up to the tower to see the view, he's using that to keep that open, that government facility open, so his business doesn't lose. That's a conflict of interest. He's using his power, his position, to influence something that he shouldn't.
So they're saying she used her power to get him fired? Is that
yes, they're saying that she used her status as mayor to get him fired.
Okay.
And they're saying that she overstepped with her power as mayor. No, she did not. She's a black woman who's seen something that if she wasn't mayor, she would have said the same exact thing. Mm-hmm. But since she is mayor, we should have more people like her coming to the forefront to say it. That's just like saying Martin Luther King Jr. See, I said Michael. I didn't say no racial slur. But
slur. Shut up.
Martin Luther King Jr. or Malcolm X or Marcus Garvey or anybody like that overstepped by saying, or the Black Panther Party overstepped by standing up for black people. Mm-hmm. No, they didn't. They're normal people standing up for our people. Y'all standing up for y'all people all the time. Y'all been standing up for y'all people. And y'all hold it down for your people.
I mean, they people the president. I mean, she just
they've been 40. We had one president, well, two presidents out of all of them.
What two? Please don't say Clinton.
No, the first president.
The very first president was black.
Oh yes, the one that's on the bill. What's his name? He said.
And another thing, I don't know. And another thing, before we kind of
you don't know. I don't know either. I was about to talk shit, but I think just as the collective Black Caucus of America, which includes all black people in America.
Yo, we should make that.
We have.
That sounds real legit. Though.
No. If we don't have no rappers or actors, it ain't gonna pop.
we can recruit them. Right. Recruitment, man. Recruitment.
Can we have Kanye or no?
Yo, that is a question. Who are our black leaders? Don't say Colin Kaepernick, because we didn't hear that nigga speaking.
Mayor Lovely Warren. That's one of them. Clearly.
I think that being that we at this point in American history, because we make history every day.
Yeah.
We have more access to white people. Mm-hmm. We have pushed ourselves into spaces that they used to dominate, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's why it's extremely important that we have these conversations and we figure out how to have these conversations, how to facilitate these conversations, because up until now, at what point did we have this amount of access or even accountability when you talk about technology? We have the accountability, as we seen with the weatherman, to get you shut down. Now, if this would have happened in the 50s, there, you know, either you caught it on the news or you didn't. You know what I'm saying? But now the news runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We take the internet with us everywhere we go. So just how we had generations before us do sit-ins because that was the amount of access they had, they can go to public spaces that are white only spaces and dominate those spaces and deal with whatever they had to deal with. We now have an obligation to, and that changed people's minds as well. You know, with when you have people who have benefited from a society, and let's say you may not necessarily be racist, we can take it back to segregation. You may not be racist and you may not be participating in racial slurs, but if you're a white person and it's the 40s and you're going to go to the white bathroom because it says white, right? Yeah. But you benefit from that, but you might not necessarily agree with that. So then you walk down the street and you see a sit-in and you see how people are being treated. You see that dogs are biting them. You see that the fire hose, you know, they're being hit with water from fire hoses from a fucking fire truck. You know, that could change your perspective, and now these people become assets to Martin Luther King or Rosa Parks. You know what I'm saying? So us having this amount of access and this amount of influence in 2019, we should be able to and try to figure out a way to have these conversations to shift people's mindset, because we have more access than we've ever had before.
You know, another thing that we got to stop doing as a community, as a collective, telling white people that they can't help us and that they should just
like we could just do it on our
like
that's so
they
dumb.
Should just
we could create a whole
us.
New society right now.
They should just support us in our efforts to do it. Like when white people are putting a conscious, authentic effort to do everything in their power to assist us in moving forward, we should embrace that and not tell them, well, you're never gonna understand, you know, our youth's or our pain. You're never gonna understand what we go through because you didn't live it. You come from a privileged background, so you should just stand in the background and help us. I hate that mindset, because they are an asset. Like if Bernie Sanders, he sat with, you know, he was on the marches and things of that nature. If Martin Luther King and all those black people said, you're not going to ever understand what we go through right now, that's sending a opposing or opposite message as to us trying to integrate in a way to where we're tackling a common problem that affects both the white people that want to engage with us and want to understand what we're doing and wants to help us
just want to
as we go
the
forward.
Human race.
Right.
Like, let's move past this shit. Like, let's move past this. Like, how long we gonna do it?
Right. Because
like, how long we gonna do this shit?
At the end of the day, I understand that we have the teachings of you know, Malcolm X and Garvey to where we're saying you know, we never want the enemy to teach our kids, but the reality is the enemy is the only people that's going to teach our kids, because we don't have enough of us to reflect that we can teach our kids for ourselves, because we don't see ourselves as teachers. We see ourselves as athletes and as entertainers. We don't see ourselves as politicians or things of that nature, which is why it's more crucial for the Maxine Waters and for the lovely Warrens and the Barack Obamas and the Michelle Obamas, the people that's in those high positions, to be effective with their influence. So then you have educators like myself or Noel or Shannon when he's, you know, with the ignorance.
When he's Mr. Williams.
Yeah, Mr. Williams when he with the ignorance. Or beyond, just the other black educators that we're in these other positions to where we can actually put on to our youth more than what a white educator can do. That is what's more effective. So then they start to see, oh, I can be this. So then maybe I'm influencing right now some of my youth to want to be a teacher when they get older. They don't know that I'm a crisis interventionist, that I don't work in the school. They just see me in the school. Right. So if I can empower, and I'm a black man working in the city school district. So if I can empower them from me showing them that it's possible for them to be this, then that's how we start to change that narrative. But right now, we need to work with the white people. What you got. And we need to work with the white people that's actually taking their time to come to work every day. Now, it might not be beautiful all the time, and they might be...
It's not going to be. It's revolutionary.
But we have to continue to push not we have to continue to push them to be uncomfortable and understand that they are in an environment to where they might not understand all the time, but building relationships and character is crucial.
And let's not have black people think that we came from coming on boats from our homeland to where we are right now without the assessment of white people.
That's a fact.
I don't know where y'all coming from with that.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, it's not about the you being a black teacher. It's you loving the black students that makes a difference.
Ooh,
it's loving the black students, and some of it is just being there. Some of it you can have a student that you never have any contact with, right? 20 years online, that kid can be like, you remember that lady that was, you know what I'm saying? She used to work on the first floor. I became a teacher because she always was kind to me, or she always said good morning. You don't always have to be intensely in their lives or intensely involved in their upbringing. You just have to be there. Sometimes it's just being there because we're not even there.
Yeah.
So true. Because growing up, I went to number 6 school, Dag Hummerjold, right on Hudson. And I had a teacher named a principal named Dr. Larkins. Now, I never in my life called the principal doctor, but his name was Dr. Larkins. And every morning he would just come out and just wave to the kids. Like we didn't have a personal relationship, but I saw a black man actually care for his students. Yeah. And everybody wants to be an entertainer, but that's because I hear everybody else around me saying, envying entertainers. But I wish I heard one student just say, I want to be like Dr. Larkins. Mm-hmm. That would be beautiful. Mm-hmm. Especially like at your school, Dev, you know how many kids, because I seen it, like those little boys I forgot the twins.
The twins. Don't say their name. You can't say their name.
Cool. I forgot it anyway.
Keep on going.
Oh, okay. But yeah, just seeing the way they look up to you and then look up to us, and we're not entertainers. We're influencers. We're educators. We were just tangible. On stage talking.
We're tangible.
Exactly.
Watching somebody on the idiot box is different. That's fantasy, regardless of just it might be an entertainer you see, they're live, but regardless of the fact, it's an experience, just like when you watch a movie. Mm-hmm. So when you
that's why I posted hip hop is not our culture, because we're not influencing it. We are getting influenced by it. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Where you been? I haven't been on social media, but whatever is going on in North Dakota, I might have to come to North Dakota.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the next Oprah. I come to North Dakota. I just need to be there 24 hours. Clearly, what's going on in North Dakota?
Mr. Williams back.
Right.
Was that sister in the back cleaning dishes?
Yeah, that was my sister in the
Shout
back.
out. See what happens when you have a black woman behind you?
Oh.
You see what happens when you have a black woman behind you? Magic.
That's
magic.
But see, I would challenge that on another show. But I would say this: we created hip hop culture, like the pillars of it, and then
I know what you're talking about.
It seemed like it's about to be a discussion.
No. I would just say I said on another show, because we got to go into the other half. But we created the pillars based off of our struggle, and it was transformed to something different by the industry as it caught fire and it became profitable.
Because we didn't own it.
So my point to that, I could build a little hut, but then white people just came and made this hut into a mansion. That's no longer my hut. That's their mansion. But to China's
coming to North Dakota.
But to China's point about the phone and how we always have the internet, I'm hearing like going to the R.Kelly thing. I hear like he's been doing this. Why is this now getting the publicity? It's because we're constantly on social media to talk about it. Mm-hmm. It's not that we were blind to it before and just let it pass. It's just now.
Well, I'm 25, and if he's been doing this for 20 to 30 years,
yes,
I didn't know. How do I know he raping people? I'm 6. So for us, we're not the ones that need to be held accountable for the fact that he's still out here thriving.
Yeah, that's
our parents, our aunt's generation, even our the younger grandma's generation, they are responsible for keeping this man in his job.
So position. Did you watch Surviving R.Kelly? Like the first episode?
I watched the YouTube clip, so they got about 7 minutes of it, but I couldn't watch the whole episode. I couldn't do it.
Yeah. Did you? Oh, you didn't watch it. Okay.
I watched some, so I watched maybe 10 minutes. I probably watched 10 minutes of both here and there, like
of the first episode. or
So first, second, and third, but I literally, I don't.
yo,
Yeah.
okay.
It's not too. I don't have to. I wrote things down.
I was watching some of it last night, when I got home, and once it got to the part where they started talking about Aaliyah and how he met her.
Okay, see, I didn't see anything about Aaliyah.
He met her when she was 12.
Oh my god.
So when he got abused when he was younger. Blah blah blah.
Cycle.
He won a singing competition, and that's how he blew up. Like they won like $10,000, and he blew up. The industry started calling, blah blah blah. So then after that,
he was young at this
point. He was young. This was before what was his first album called?
R.Kelly's dyslexic. He dropped out in the 9th, 10th grade because they made fun of him for it, and then that's when he won the
that contest.
So he's a teenager at this point.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he ain't he ain't released his first album until like he was in his 20s, like in his 20s. But basically it went from there. He was already kind of sexual in high school, and
there was a not to interrupt you, I apologize. Yeah. Their older brother, the younger brother, Casey Kelly, said that their older sister used to molest both of them, and R. Kelly liked it. So that's where it came from. Yeah. And his brother hated it. And that's why R. Kelly has a strong relationship with his sister, because she was the first one to introduce him to
she's his predator.
Sex.
If somebody introduced her to sex, believe that early. It just keeps.
So him narrating based off of the interviews from back in the day when he went to court and all that stuff. He was talking like, well, no kid should go through that at an early age, because you become what
hypersexual?
Not hypersexual. You become like
a product of it.
Not really a product. It's more so like you become why is the word not coming to my brain? Just like you want to explore.
Well, he dyslexic, so he probably wasn't saying these words.
You want to explore more. There you go. You want to explore. So you want to go out and explore, blah, blah, blah. Dyslexic is when you say stuff backwards. So basically he was saying that, and then obviously, so once the record deal started calling, he started hanging at the high school pulling singers. So, and then they went into the Pied Piper. That's why they call him the Pied Piper. Well, he called himself the Pied Piper because the Pied Piper lured kids away with their music, right? So this was after he released his album, because that's when they knew, like, yo, this dude is crazy. Like, he's nice with the vocals and everything. So they would go, because they said that they wanted to be famous. So they was his backup singers. They go on the road with him, blah, blah, blah. I'm kind of pushing through the story. But basically what happened is when they was in the studio, she said, one of the girls said that they would see R. Kelly in the studio with one of the girls that was 14 bent over in the studio. Everybody is in the studio. So that's one, and then this is when I was like, all right, I can't do this no more.
I just don't understand.
She said that on the tour bus, they got the bunks and everything. Once Aaliyah came, she met at 12, and like all the backup singers, so Aaliyah and all the rest of the singers, they were all like close friends, so they would go out together and go to each other's houses and things of that nature. Now, mind you, they already got they should have had like 3 years at least on Aaliyah. If he met her at 12 and they was 14, and they met R. Kelly before they met Aaliyah. So they had to have at least 2 to 3 years on them. But basically they was on the tour bus, and I guess it went over a bump or something, and the door came over, and he was having sex with Aaliyah. This was after she's already
12?
No, this was when she was
she
was like 14 or 15. This was after or around the time where they got.
Can we not do the details? He's absolutely disgusting.
The illegal marriage.
Yes. Actually, Aaliyah's uncle managed R. Kelly, and he wanted Aaliyah to be a star, so he started letting him take singing lessons. So now he knew that R. Kelly liked Aaliyah, so that's when he helped him forge the marriage certificate.
Uncle?
So yes.
And then,
so instead, so instead of saying that he's having sex with an underage girl, he could say he's having sex with his wife.
Yeah.
And
his wife
was 18. I'm so happy I ain't watched all that.
his uncles knows that R. Kelly is dyslexic. So guess who owns R. Kelly's publishing? Aaliyah's family. So they sold Aaliyah to R. Kelly for his money.
So and then so and basically he was like, well, I didn't know on the thing. Well, I didn't know that they was doing it. I asked him, and he said, no, I would never do
Aaliyah
that.
mom said
You asked him,
yo, like,
but you didn't ask the child.
well, of course she would say no. Like they went on to one of the biggest shows at that time, and they was asking like. They was asking like, well, are you guys dating? Like, are y'all girlfriend, boyfriend?
Yep.
And they was like,
and they was like,
they
we
would
just
dance
friends.
around. Yeah, they would dance around. Like, now, mind you, they come in full. They whole outfit is the same, like on some high school.
Yeah, they matching.
We wearing the same thing on Valentine's Day type thing, and yet they're saying, nah, we not dating type thing.
And she wouldn't say her age. She would not.
She would never say her age, which she is trained now. Now she's trained to know what to say, when not to say, all that.
But people sell their kids all the time.
So here's
people
the thing.
sell their kids to just their boyfriends. They can have a man around. Like,
so here's my thing.
Yeah.
Now this is a question that I've always asked. So this has nothing to do with the R. Kelly, none of that stuff. I've always asked girls, because I always wondered this growing up. Why do they like older boys? So one of the things was, were they more mature? I've always gotten that one. Were they more mature? And I feel like this situation it brought that question back, because I mean, I know this one is unique because R. Kelly had a sense of power that can traject these girls into stardom, and that's what they was looking for. So it's easier for them to submit themselves to this older guy. Well, really anybody in this industry. Same with Roxanne with that situation.
Hold on. There's two different levels to what you're saying. Like older, mature could be like 16 to 21-year-old boy.
Yeah.
When you talk about
know
a
that.
grown ass 28, 29, 30-year-old man talking to a 15, 16-year-old, that's a different level to mature.
Well, yes, but it can be the same difference as well.
No. A 30-year-old got his own house. The 21-year-old, he may have an apartment and a car, but he still is around your mindset.
Perception. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's perception.
A 30-year-old know what the fuck he's doing. A 21-year-old could still be, a little immature.
Or he can present he knows what he's doing.
Facts.
14
that's true.
and 30.
Yeah, he know what he's doing. But yeah, that just brought back the question. So maybe that's some introspection to go into, when we're talking about raising our girls. That's a common thing because girls mature faster than boys.
Yeah, but even girls liking older guys, you have a limit.
You could,
like, you always have a limit. Like how like my limit is from this age to this age. This is the max. I have a max, and you also have a max for young. Like, I mean, I'm 25, but I mean, the fuck, I'm as big as the kids at the school. And then when I worked and I'm working in elementary school, so when I worked in the high school, it was really like. I mean, honestly, I could take advantage of a boy. Ain't no boy gonna say no to me. Let's be 100. You know what I'm saying? I'm not dating a 16-year-old boy. I'm not dating a 17-year-old boy. I'm not dating an 18. But I'm just saying, but I'm not. There's nothing attractive to me about anybody 25 and under. There's nothing attractive. There's nothing attractive to me about that.
Well, it's because you got different goals than a
pedophile.
When you're younger, you just want to have sex. But when you're older, you kind of want stability.
No, but even if I do just want to have sex, I don't.
Jeez.
See that? Look at that manifestation. I don't want to have sex with a 21-year-old. I don't want to have sex with an 18. And an 18-year-old boy is legal. I don't want to have sex with an 18, but he don't know what he's doing. He don't got nothing going on. He don't even wash his balls properly.
That's the point right there. You looking at him. You looking at him like he a baby. What he gonna do for me? But when you see a 25-year-old, it's like, okay, you may know something. You may got your shit together.
But a 14-year-old boy,
exactly,
they disgust me just for the fact that they funky. And I know 14-year-old boys like, what? How you find that attractive?
Well, I guess that's just the double standard.
We look at the same thing with girls. What can you really do for me at 14, 15, 16? What? Mm-hmm. Besides chapping my ear on.
It's not, but she can't do much for you.
For snacks.
And wear your hoodies and take your hoodies home and post pictures on Snapchat. My boyfriend. But they don't have much to offer you. But you offer them, depending on depending on where they came from, stability, power, guidance, and let's not act like the daddy thing isn't a thing.
Yeah. So let's.
Yeah.
Well, in that situation, parent thing wasn't a thing because they were benefiting from
They
it.
parents need to burn. R.Kelly gotta burn. The managers gotta burn. Aaliyah family gotta burn. People gotta burn.
I feel
I
like
agree.
I feel like everybody in that camp, besides the girls that actually was starting to report it, but everybody in that camp who knew that he was messing with these girls, besides the old lady that was his music teacher, she was the only person that said, I told him to stop messing with them girls. Like she's the one that she said she caught it and she told them they don't got nothing to do. They can't give you nothing. Stop messing with them. She's the only person that said that she told. It was basically the music teacher that made him who he is.
So this was he was in high school and she was telling him don't mess with them young girls.
She was fired. Like she did work with like the best singers in the industry.
Let's talk about Sparkle trying to sell her niece to become famous. Because if you ask me, that's what that was about. And then they got exposed in the video and everybody knew that was her niece, so it's nothing she could do but react. Because we might not have known it was her niece, but the people in the music industry and the people that know Sparkle and the people that know R.Kelly knew that was her niece. Ain't no way if I have to watch my back around a nigga and this is somebody I have to be around for whatever reason, I'm not exposing any other woman, child, anyone to this person.
Actually, what JoJo had came out and said, the white girl singer JoJo.
Mm-hmm.
She said that she wanted to meet R.Kelly, and this was around when she was 12, but her mom was always there up until the time she was 18, which you legal then.
Yeah.
But her mom was always there. To me, it's like, if JoJo could do it, and she said she don't know where her life would have went if her mom wasn't with her all the time. It's like, well, why your mom cares so much? Where these other girls' moms at? And that goes to show that R.Kelly had a select type of girl.
Right.
Go out there and go to McDonald's and ask a girl where they parents say, oh, they don't know, they at work. We're gonna bring them down.
Bring them down to the studio.
Or it was straight up girls people selling their kids for money.
No, yeah,
it happens all the time.
But it's easier if your parents don't know where you are.
Don't know where you are.
Or your parents allows you to go to places for long periods of time. Then it's easier to find. Then that parent is more likely to sell their child.
Yeah, super trustworthy or a fan, fan child. You know what I'm saying? They're diehard fan, and you saying that their kid is amazing.
My mom and my dad wanted me to go to the Boy Scouts because they thought I was gonna get raped. So
see what I'm saying?
I couldn't say night at my friends' houses.
That too. They had to talk to the parents a few times, maybe 4 or 5 times before I could even ask them to stay the night.
I know.
But picture that, like, no, go ahead.
It might be sad and stereotypical, and not I'm not rapists, but I didn't stay the night at people's house who had dads.
Hey,
as fucked up as that might be.
That's
I wouldn't stay the night you had a father in the house.
In my eyes,
and that's
fair.
That's
taking your safety into account,
and that's super fair, like real fair.
So all my single mom friends, I stayed the night at their house, and I understand if people ain't staying the night at my house. Shit, I got dad. I feel you, sis. I ain't saying that yours. Ain't gotta stay at mine.
Yeah, cause it's I don't know. It's weird, but let's not be ignorant or act like we're ignorant to the fact that this hasn't been a trend within the industry. I understand that is real relevant and prevalent right now, but this has been a tradition that's been in the industry for a long period of time. In the white community, in the black community, Hispanic, whatever the case.
Hollywood, not just music.
Yeah,
Hollywood, modeling,
just entertainment.
Acting. They
want
to be young.
I mean, they still do it to this day with grown men. I mean, we had the conversation on the show, shows ago about in the industry or whatever. You get your highest stars if you have sex with the highest executives. Like that's just what it is. Men, women,
that is kind of true.
Stuff. And at least on the men's side, and then the women's side, they're still preyed upon. Harvey Weinstein, things of that nature. Like this is something that is a trend to get where you want to get, or this is a trend to prey on people who wants to get somewhere.
How old was Kimora Lee when Russell got with her? Wasn't she was like 16?
They said 17 when I read it, but yeah, same thing.
Well, 17 in what state?
Would you want somebody go dating? Would you want somebody dating your 17-year-old daughter?
I'm just saying. If
Wait,
it's,
no, why
if
you
it's
playing?
if it's
Fuck the state. I don't give a fuck if they said anybody can date whoever.
Plaus-
Fuck limitations. Ain't no pedophile.
plausible
exist.
deniability.
Would you let your 17-year-old daughter?
No,
would you
but-
be comfortable with that?
No.
All right then.
I'm just saying, you know, but it's plausible deniability if you can say, well, in this state at 17 they're legal.
You know,
That
it's
has
15
nothing
in
to do with the
Tennessee.
fact that we talking about somebody still a predator if they want to date a child. Regardless of if it's legal, that's just make it
I mean, shoot.
cool. Like fuck. And I'm a predator, and whoever made this law is a predator. That's my boy.
I'm 24.
Predators.
I'm 24 and 18 is young.
Hell yeah. Who want to do that? Who want to do that?
Shit.
That is like my dick.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I said that out loud?
Yeah.
It's all right. He
My bad,
not
I'm
y'all.
just
He not
joking.
fully.
I'm
He
just
only
joking.
been there. Let's give it to March. He gonna be a new man.
Yeah, he gonna
Baby
come back
steps.
here
Baby
with,
steps. We teaching here.
He
We
gonna come back
teaching.
here with bow ties tied around his neck. No shirt, no dress shirt, just the bow tie.
I'm semi.
Semi.
Just give me from the neck up, Dad. That's it.
But nah. Yeah, 18 for me is young because I question the maturity level based off of what I'm looking for. You see what I'm saying? Now, if I am, because that's what, 4 years, 5 years? No, I can't count.
That's 6
That's 6
years.
years. Yeah. So
Damn.
if I'm 30, I can't count. If I'm 30, or I'm talking fast, but I didn't say nothing. I ain't say nothing racial. I just couldn't do my math. If I'm 31 or 36 and it's somebody that's 27, 26, that's within that same range, but they are mature and they're doing what what I'm saying. It's almost like the Gabrielle Union Dwayne Wade thing. Like they're 10 years apart.
My parents are almost 10 years apart. My
Yeah.
grandparents were 17 years apart.
Yeah, like they're ways apart, but yeah, that ain't nothing, right?
That's a lot. That's a lot.
That ain't nothing, but depending on where you are in your life and where they are in your life, and they've been grown for a long time, then that age gap don't matter. That age ain't nothing but a number. Which that was crazy because he wrote that whole album and he's in the background on the album cover of the age ain't nothing but a number. Like he's blurred out.
Which isn't uncommon for producers to do it, but the way he was looking at her, and they
Bruh.
looked like they was at a high
I
school.
never seen that video.
They just looked like he
When
picked
they
her
said
up.
that-
But I didn't know he was on that song, but now it makes sense.
He wrote that whole album. He wrote that whole album for her. That's when she was on the way up.
But see, when I was listening to that song at like 12, I was thinking like 14. Like I can date a 14-year-old boy. Age ain't nothing but a number. Like I wasn't thinking I'm 12 and I can be with like an 18-year-old boy.
So
like that was
Let's go back to rehabilitation.
no, we're not rehabilitating no pedophiles
no,
and no
no,
R
no, no,
worders.
no. I ain't talking about that. Just think about think about this. R.Kelly's goal was to recondition the mind to think age ain't nothing but a number, to normalize him dating or messing with 14-year-olds.
Use that introspective.
Just throwing that out there.
You know the song "Bump and Grind" because R. Kelly was telling on himself.
Yo,
You remember the line? I can't sing, but he was like, "I need ID in order for me to get knee deep."
Oh,
What?
he said that.
Like,
But
yeah, he said that in a song.
after watching the 15 minutes I watched, I started to I was painting, so I started listening to music, and I was in there was a 2000s playlist, and it was going in, right? But because all this is going on with R. Kelly, then they start talking about his music. Now I'm hypersensitive to like lyrics of shit. Every song that a man is on is talking about drugging a woman to fuck her, getting her drunk to fuck her, making sure she young. Like all you have to listen to these lyrics. I'm like, God damn. Or like, if you ain't fucking, I ain't, like, you ain't shit. Or you ain't, I'ma fuck you, but I ain't gonna wife. Like, everything is so extremely degrading.
Which goes to why it's been accepted for so long, why it's been so common for so long, and why rape culture has been present for so long, and without anybody addressing it or correcting it. That's why it's coming now. we can acknowledge rape culture as that's rape culture, or when Shannon say something, rape culture. You know what I'm saying? Hashtag. You know what I'm saying?
Because women were second class citizens. That's why it was okay to be, just like it was okay to be a slave owner, and it was okay to be a white supremacist and KKK openly. It was okay to have police dogs biting black people. It was okay to beat your wife. It was okay to rape your wife. It was okay for your wife to not have a job. Black women didn't get bank accounts until the 70s. It's 2018. These things we were second class citizens. That's why it's been going on for so long.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We were second class citizens when black people was free.
Yeah. So yeah. I just want to say that because at the end of the day, this is something that's been prevalent, that's been consistent, and it's not surviving R.Kelly, it's surviving the truth of the matter.
Surviving niggas.
This right here is something that's been going on unaddressed, and people have knowledge of it, and they're still not addressing it.
And I know this ain't got nothing really to do with it, but we got to put some of that on the crack era too. Because a lot of these parents got on drugs early and just said, fuck their kids. And they made a lot of bad decisions just based off of money. Like if I was addicted to drugs, which a lot of people in the 90s were, and the 80s, but if I was addicted to drugs, then I seen R. Kelly like, yeah, I give me your daughter, you get 10,000, 15,000.
And I'm supplied for a while.
Wow. Ain't no telling. So addiction plays a part in that too.
But you see how things evolve. Like now we look at somebody selling their child. Like how crazy is that? But women would get sold all the time. It's still places where
they still get sold.
Yeah, women are, whether it's through sex trafficking or it's through arranged marriages or
arranged marriages,
you know, like
usually
rich people do arranged marriages. They do arranged marriages in other countries. Like women have in different cultures are still a second class citizen. It's not. So it's and to be a black woman, you're nothing.
Yeah.
God damn.
So for this to be happening in a dominantly black, a heavily dominated black industry, and the overseers of this are white men, they don't give a fuck what's going on with no little ass black girls. They don't care who fucking them.
They don't care now.
Whatever to keep the artist happy, baby.
Exactly. Yeah. They don't. So who are we? And then the black men are falling right into the trap.
The trap. Yeah.
I own you. You are nothing. The women that create you, how fucking dare they even create you? I damn sure don't give a fuck about them. So if I am in control of what your children see, right? Yeah. So I want them to see that you're a piece of shit. Because and because you are degrading these women, and I want these women to always know that they're a piece of shit because I don't give a fuck about them, and now neither do you.
And we're gonna tell you not to rehabilitate yourself.
You okay?
God damn, Noel, you put that. I never heard it so bluntly put like that. Like
some shit is just simple.
No 3-syllable words. It was only 2.
Yeah. Or 1. 2 or 1.
Or 1.
2 is the max.
Sometimes shit is just simple. You don't gotta be all eloquent with the shit. It is what it is.
That's a fact. There you go. There you go. Yeah, I like that. I think everybody is to blame. Even putting together that documentary, like it's one of those ignorance thing. Like they're using ignorance as a defense to justify their role in what was being done. Right? Mm-hmm. Every time they said something was, well, I asked him, but he told me no, so I believed it. You're choosing to be ignorant to this thing that's blatantly in front of you. Like the teacher, she noticed that he was hanging around the high school. She noticed that he was hanging out with high schoolers, high school girls, and she called him out on it. He said no. She continued to see him hang around there, and she told him to stop. They not giving you nothing. They're just gonna give you trouble. She told him that. She called him out. He didn't do it.
We all know that guy who graduated from high school, but for whatever reason will always be at the school during dismissal. Dog, yes. You graduated.
Right.
Why are you here?
Right.
Trying to talk to the young girls.
Right. I mean, you can.
Them the ones on the sex offender list.
I mean, you ever seen even during the school day, you seen the 12th graders talking to the 7th graders.
Yeah, that's one thing why I do not like how they have these schools with these older kids and these younger kids. School need to be separated for a reason. That's one thing. I do not like these K to 12 schools. I don't like these K to 8 schools. No. Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's another.
I don't like that.
Until this thing, I never thought about it in that way. But especially now where we don't know what they put in these foods, and these girls are
Mm-hmm.
literally developing in 4th grade. And like
y'all saw that picture of the 15-year-old girl that looked 21?
Yeah, but all the
She
kids
got
look
the-
like that.
No, but she really looked grown as like. I had to really double take. You 15, bitch? Like
You got mad?
that fucked with me.
what did I just look at?
Really? Like did I just get physically attracted to a 15-year-old? Am I R.Kelly?
Oh.
15-year-olds ain't
Nah,
look like
that's
that
how
back
it
then.
Am I
feels,
from
though,
R. Kelly's
like-
camp? You don't got to be R. Kelly. Let's not go there.
No,
You can be
age
somebody.
is-
You can be somebody around R. Kelly. You don't got to be him.
Until
Age is a number to me.
until
Age ain't nothing. You know how they
Nah.
do. You know how they do the scratch.
The scratch.
Age a number to me.
Age is a number.
you gotta put it in your own head. Please keep
Yeah.
saying that while you meditating in North Dakota.
So
'cause
so
clearly that's changing.
knowing that. Okay, so let's talk about this real quick before we wrap the show. Knowing that R. Kelly wrote that whole album, Age Ain't Number Number.
Yes.
Do you scrap Aaliyah music, or at least that one album? Do you scrap it? Because I seen some stuff on social media that said people want to scrap Aaliyah altogether.
No,
That's
I mean
stupid.
I feel like she was a victim just like everybody else. I've been scrapped R. Kelly before.
Yeah,
All of this.
I've
No.
been.
I haven't.
He
listened to R.
has
Kelly
had.
for a long time.
Oh, I wrote this down. He has had because people are like, why do they talk about this now? Why he started getting accusations in '96.
In '96, yeah.
He's been sued and paying people off a year. So the people who say there is no information out
yeah.
there, just you can look
You can
before any of this. So
And-
I've been stopped listening to R. Kelly, but no, I wouldn't stop listening to Aaliyah because she, regardless of whether her mama, her parents, or her uncle sold her or whatever it was, she was a victim of people using her in R. Kelly's sense for his predatory, disgusting needs and wants, and his and by her family members for the greed of money. She was used in all situations. She was fucked by everybody.
And R. Kelly was a pioneer in the 90s. If you take away Aaliyah, you got to take away who wasn't on a song with R. Kelly back in the day.
But what I will
and he
also
worked with
say,
everybody.
Everybody.
He worked with everybody.
what I will also
So-
say is for people to be naive of the fact of how big he was and how much of a sex symbol he was. Just like when we was in high school, 7th to 8th grade year, that's when Chris Brown came out. You think if I went and saw Chris Brown backstage and he said, "Can you be my girlfriend?" I
Oh,
would have
you
said
would've
no.
did it. You'd have
I would
did
have been like, "Ma, I'm out." Fuck, you know what I'm saying? So to
Your mom would
think
have slapped you.
she would have,
did.
my mom would have beat my ass, and my mom would have shot up
No,
in
you
the
not.
studio.
You going right up to them
I was
stairs.
right.
You
but
out
That's a
that bedroom.
grown ass man up there. That's a grown.
absolutely.
Well, no,
but
he was
he was
16.
he was our age,
He
but
was 16.
but just
No, no,
thinking
no, no,
in
no.
the mindset
When we
of
first heard him,
he was like he was 16, but we was young. We was like 13,
It was
12.
2005. I remember.
That
I mean,
mean we
so
was in
that's
5th grade.
5th grade.
2000.
That's 5th grade.
It was 2006 because I was still.
So that's
I was
6th grade.
sitting in
That's
16.
So like I said, 12.
Yeah,
So
and-
then he was 15.
Because I used to hate running because my sister used to play it all the time.
Me too.
And then
too.
once I grew a
Light
little
skinned nigga
bit,
dancing.
that's a fact.
You was just hating.
And then I listened to it, and then I was like, oh,
this
yeah.
is not Chris Brown bashing session. Yeah.
Once give me that came out, I was like, oh, all right, he nice because Wayne was on there and stuff.
Because Wayne was on there anyway. So for people to say they was being hot and they was this and they was that, y'all getting ready to throw y'all ass at motherfucking who's the guy that's about to be here? Kevin Gates. Y'all about to get ready to throw y'all panties and bras on stage. So don't tell me if he invite you back, you ain't sucking no dick.
Well, are they 14?
That's not the point that I'm making. The point that I'm making is when you when you meet somebody, like we unfortunately idealize these people that are on the TV, right?
Yeah.
So you see somebody you've been dying to see them, you bought their concert, you getting ready and all that, and then you go backstage or somehow you meet them, you gonna be with not necessarily with sex, but if somebody was to say,
Whatever
you know,
they
come
with, just with whatever they with.
9 times out of 10, and if you young,
And men be the same.
if
way.
you're young, you definitely hell yeah. If you young, you definitely are. Okay, fuck Chris Brown, B2K, Scream Tour. If I get to see you, and you saying you want to be my boyfriend as a child, that's like all your dreams come true.
That's another thing that R. Kelly situation happened.
Chris Stokes, and nobody talked about that.
Chris Stokes was getting with them too.
Oh yeah.
It's just that I mean,
And they
because
still with him though.
and this is not a reflection
It's
of
not just because a lot of them are related. And never mind. Go ahead.
this is not just a reflection
And that's
of the music industry. this is a reflection of, just because we live in America, we just say America as a whole. But these people have the power to hide it, and then they have other people like this. I'm sure this happens in high government.
You know what it is?
The exclusivity of it. It doesn't get out, so it's easy for us to continue to do it because we can keep this in house. But this happens everywhere.
It's American culture.
Yeah,
it's American culture. This is something that was honed. The skill was honed during slavery time, and it was practiced and embedded in us in every. So it was practiced by the white people, and it was honed by the black people.
The white people. You kill me every time.
And then it's just been practiced constantly, persistently throughout time to now. It's like,
I don't know where it started, but it gotta stop.
It started in slavery.
Because
stop. All this stuff, if before slavery, none of this was a part of society.
But back, if you
as prevalent.
So, but even if you go back hundreds of years, men were with younger women, and it was more accepted by the society. Like, society didn't look at it as anything. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where we were back then, and that is just tied into the whole biological blah 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 of, you got to get the spring chicken when she high and ready, blah blah blah.
Curiosity. No, this just raises the question. So let's say R.Kelly actually. Oh, okay. Let's throw R.Kelly out the window. Let's say somebody about 27 actually married
the window. Throw him down the
stairs.
Throw him down the stairs.
But make sure his balls is chopped. He might meet a 15-year-old down the stairs. Ain't no telling.
He gonna stop mid fall. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, baby.
Can you catch me when I fall?
All right, we shouldn't be joking about that.
Yeah, that's a fact. But all right, so let's say he actually married them, and they stayed together till like 50, 70 years. They died together. Juxtaposed to him just literally taking advantage of young women. Because I think that's what they were doing more back in the day. Like, they would be older, they would just marry, because that's what they did in Color the Purple. Celie was about 14, 15 when he met when he met her, but they stayed together. He wasn't just, yo, suck my dick, let's fuck. Let's go to the next high school. He wasn't just raping
bitches.
It wasn't excessive.
With
the Me Too movement coming out and women talking about their experiences with rape culture, molestation, there were people that came out that said, you know what? Because you have to think back then, like you said, rape wasn't defined how it is defined now. There were women that came out that said, you know what? Now that I think about it, I met my husband. I was 16 years old, and he was older. He preyed on me, and we grew, and we got married, and I had kids by him. And now with social media in the time that we're in, people are being exposed to more education, right? About just everything. So there are women who have came out with the Me Too movement to say, damn, my husband was a predator.
Yeah.
I got with my predator. Stockholm syndrome. Period. Yeah. Like that's just it is what it is.
I was waiting for you to put
Me
that
too.
in there.
That's kind of why I asked that question. I was waiting.
Yeah,
you set it up.
Syndrome. So what is Stockholm syndrome, real quick, as we
quick?
So, y'all want
yeah.
Okay.
Let us know.
Oh wait, where am I looking at? Oh, okay. So Stockholm syndrome is when a hostage or a victim forms an alliance with her abuser, right? So I went deeper into Stockholm syndrome and learned about oh, did I not write it down? Trauma. Oh, shit, I didn't write it down. Anyway, so it comes to the fact. So fight, flight, flee, right? 9 times fight, flight, freeze, right? 9 times out of 10 you're not gonna freeze because you gotta get the fuck up out of there. So when you're in a hostage situation or you're in an abusive situation, your brain is gonna say, "What the fuck can I do for us to survive?" At this point, this is animal mode. Just, I know humans don't like to think that they're animals, but it is what it is. Yeah. Unfortunately, you control your thoughts, but you don't control your animalistic reactions to survival, right? Until you have to do it. So your brain says, "What can I do in this situation to make this favorable so that I can survive, whether that's mentally or physically?" Because the brain, even though we don't take care of our mental, the brain is going to protect itself. It right. always does.
Right.
So the brain says, I'm going to do whatever this person needs me to do to make them happy. I am going to be who this person needs me to be for them to not kick my ass or not kick my ass enough. Or, you know what I'm saying? So if take a woman who has been sex trafficked, whoever I don't think they call them pimps, but whoever the guy is, she is not going to cuss him out every day. She's not going to fight with him every day because he has the power, right? She is going to step on eggshells as much as he possibly can as much and as often as she needs to in order to survive. So if him and her are on good terms, it works. Now, if they continue to be on good terms, whatever, and this is also how pimps get their main hoe to go out and get other hoes. We form a relationship. You now care about me because we're humans. Regardless of what situation you in, we are animals that need to be compassionate. So you're going to have compassion for whoever you around. You're going to have a connection. So now you love me. Now you're not going to go against me. I done got you so fucking brainwashed because at this point your brain is just in survival mode that you're going to do whatever I need you to do. So no, you're not going to tell your mom that you're getting abused. Or you're not going to go to your sister's house and tell your sister my man beat my ass. Or, I was with my husband. I didn't want to have sex, but we had sex anyway. Or even now I finally get to see my mom in the studio and I haven't seen her for 2 months. But even though he's been raping me for 2 months, he also has been doing things for me that are nice. He has been making me feel good in some type of way. And if I just continue to do these things, it'll stay that way. He'll stay in a happy state, or she'll stay in a happy state. So now you form an alliance with that person. Y'all cool. Can't nobody break up this union. Because your brain's so stuck in survival mode that it's like we have to do whatever we have to do to survive. And if you tell your mom he beating your ass and he find out, you gonna die. And that's just it.
There you go. Stockholm syndrome.
That shit is scary.
And it's common too.
I say if I get abducted, I'm gonna try to either kill myself or make them kill me because I do not want. It's almost inevitable depending on how long the person has you.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear nothing about. I don't even want to stock shelves no more.
I don't want to hear that.
No more.
You told me to stock what? I got what?
Remember when they found the 3 women in the basement?
Stockholm syndrome for your company? No.
Remember when they found the girls in the basement? They had been there for 18 or 20 years, and the movie came out. They had repeated. They showed different times where the different women had given up. At what point had they given up to say, "Fuck it, this is it"? Like this is what it's gonna be.
He loves me.
This is now my reality. Sometimes it's not even that he loves me. Some of it is this is just our reality. Learned helplessness. You have been shackled in this basement for so long. You have lost hope. You are helpless. So the door can be open and you won't run your ass up out of there. The brain is a beautiful and crazy thing at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
Oof.
This is a good one.
Yeah,
this is one for the books.
Yeah, this is one for the books. Mm-hmm. This is one for the books.
Thank you, North Dakota.
Yeah.
I'm feeling North Dakota. I gotta figure out what's up. I'm going up there. 2019. I'm gonna make it to North Dakota. I don't know what I'm gonna do there. I don't know what's there. I don't know. Nothing. I don't even know honestly where it is on the map. But I'm gonna go.
I think it's somewhere south.
All right, now you're trying to play me. Listen, don't make me beat you up. Coon dab though.
Oh. You was talking too fast, or you stumbled over?
Oh, I mean what I say, and I say what I mean. I ain't the weatherman. I can stand in my truth.
Yeah, I'm about to say. See, that's what I appreciate. But I ain't a coon.
Keep that same energy.
Keep that same energy.
Stand tall. Don't say face.
Yeah.
Stand tall.
Okay,
you
be
said
you. Remember when I told you about the man in Smith Report and he was talking about shit? I said, nah, nigga, say what you call me a black bitch. That's what you want to say. He like, I'd rather you say what you want to say. You want to say you nigger bitch.
Room with the weatherman.
That's what he want to say. He probably the weatherman cousin.
He didn't say nothing wrong.
Mm-hmm. All he did was call you a nigger bitch. What is that?
What is that?
I don't know.
Yeah. All right, y'all. It's almost our time. So,
we gotta go. It's been fun.
Yeah, it's been fun. A lot of information. Recap. He should have been fired. Whatever his name is, the weatherman. He should have been fired, rightfully so. Now, if y'all want to rehabilitate them people in the control room behind the camera, and all them people that did not feel the need to correct him on air or go into the little. We will be back in a moment.
You know what I'm saying? Cause for a great conversation.
Yeah, go and rehabilitate them.
Rehabilitate them. Okay.
You know, I
You got Jamaican?
I don't know what I got, but I know I ain't saying nothing racial. And you know, just understand. Hopefully, this is a learning experience for all white people because this is the only way white people gonna learn because they do not take the effort to educate themselves on the things we have to educate ourselves on a daily basis. This is our reality. This is y'all. I don't know. This y'all reality too at the end of the day.
Nah, this they fantasy world. They do whatever the fuck they want.
There
boy.
you
They
go.
can just make shit happen.
This is our reality. This is your fantasy. I like that. Ooh, that's the name of the show. So with that being said, yeah, I like that. Our reality, your fantasy.
You've been doing good.
Yeah.
You've been doing. You reading up there?
Stop. It's a clear mind, not smoking, not drinking. That
It
shit
is
don't do
something
that.
I want y'all to read, but I'm gonna let y'all read it when I'm done.
Okay,
I'm
so
done this week.
y'all already know. Bringing up to the ears for next week's show. This is
Please
Royal
do.
Flex of Brand's introspective insight talk show. I am King Dev Doe.
And this is Shannon Shenanigans.
And I am your favorite co-host, Noel Moore.
Yes, sir. I love you.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. Introspect. Tiv inside. Hope you come back next week.
Come back next week.